Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging.
Week in review. Here are this week's main stories. Zende Partners has declared victory in the Sinuafian HD1196 system following clash. Is with Segnan Exchange. CEO Freya Tain confirmed that her company would establish megaship service and the system's 2 outposts. A new advanced multi-cannon has also been made available for purchase at the prospect. Admiral Frederick Yamamoto has been charged with the assassination of Fazia Silva. In a statement, Tashmira Silva revealed that a privately funded investigation has identified Yamamoto as responsible for arranging her sister's death during
System scan complete.
last year's presidential campaign. President Gibson Kincaid is yet to comment on the situation. In other news, the investigation into technician Gan Romero has been suspended, with Fort Dixon investigators exhausting all known leads. The stolen ship Sonar has speculated whether his exploration vessel was selected for a reason, given Romero's Dream Journal entries. And those are the main stories this week. Admiral Yamamoto arrested for murder. Admiral Frederick Yamamoto, head of the Alliance fleet in Zounds, has been charged with the assassination of former presidential candidate Fazia Silva. The shocking statement was delivered by Tashmira Silva, who became CEO of Silva Holdings Inc. after her sister's death. When the inquiry into Fazia's murder closed, I hired the Wall Glass Investigations Agency at great expense to uncover the truth. They identified that a professional assassin with a background in the Alliance Defense Force was responsible. Unraveling a complex trail of financial evidence and encrypted communications led directly to Admiral Yamamoto. He personally arranged to have Fazia killed during the presidential election campaign, presumably to remove her political threat to his friend Gibson Kincaid. Alliance Interpol recently verified the Wall Glass report and has now detained Yamamoto pending trial. The Zut's fleet has been placed under the joint command of the Council of Admirals. There has been no comment from President Kincaid. Ship thief mystery remains unsolved. The investigation into technician Gan Romero, who stole a docked vessel from the hangar bay at Fort Dixon, in the Vega system, has been officially suspended. Security Chief Misaki Sanders made this statement. Apart from the remains of Romero's Dream Journal, we have no leads and have exhausted all avenues of
Frameshift drive charging.
inquiry. Attempts to track down the stolen ship have returned empty-handed. Until more evidence surfaces, we must reluctantly abandon our efforts. Commander Bjorn Lennox, the owner of the stolen ship, commented. Obviously I'm not happy about losing my Diamondback Explorer, and I've had to fight for the station's insurance to cover my losses. Still, part of me wonders if my ship was stolen for a reason. It was fitted for a
Warning, temperature critical.
exploration with a high jump range, and it sounds like this guy was heading somewhere really far away. They said Romero was
Frameshift drive charging.
delusional, right? Well, maybe he was just invited to a place that most people can't understand. I guess we'll never know. Zandpedans claim victory. The conflict in the Sinuafen HD1196 system has ended with Zandpedans resisting an expansion attempt from Segnan Exchange. Zandpedans CEO Freya Tain made the following declaration. With the support of the galactic community, my company has withstood the violent raids instigated by our rivals. Zandpedans will manage both outposts in the system, and the megaship transport service will continue operating on a weekly basis from Zend. I am also proud to announce that we have begun manufacture of our new advanced multi-cannon at the prospect, using recently acquired Guardian materials. In a subdued response,
System scan complete.
Cedric Stone stated the following. Segnan Exchange has decided to withdraw from Sinuafen HD1196 and focus our resources on previously established operations. While this setback has interfered with our research and development schedule, we will learn from this experience and continue to grow as a company. Pilots who participated in the conflict can now collect rewards from the Sinuafen HD1196 system. Supporters of Zenpertons must journey to the prospect, while supporters of Segnan Exchange should visit Indigo Dock. Week in Review. Here are this week's main stories. Conflict has broken out in the Sinuafi D1196 system following a series of attacks against convoys transporting Guardian commodities. Zende Partners, who recently established a research operation in the system aided by a megaship transport service, have claimed the violence was organized by Segnan Exchange. Both corporations have called on the galactic community to support their respective security campaigns. In related news, the prior appeal by Zende Partners to install a technology broker at the prospect in Sinuafi D1196 was successful. Guardian modules are now available for purchase at the outpost. Prime Minister Redmond Mahone has called on President Gibson Kincaid to step down pending an official inquiry. Mahone has claimed that Kincaid's unauthorized command of the Alliance's Zounds fleet, combined with recent claims of illegal campaign funding, is sufficient to suspend the presidency. Kincaid has dismissed the demands as unconstitutional. And finally, commentators have linked ship thief Gan Romero's dream journal with the statements given by Jasmina Halsey following the disappearance of Starship One. The Rewired network claimed these borderless voices had disregarded the relative standing of these two individuals, and questioned how many others had experienced similar calls. And those are the main stories this week. Ship thief linked to Halsey's visions. There has been much speculation about Starship technician Gan Romero, whose dreams are believed to have directed him to steal a ship from a starport hangar. On the Rewired network, independent journalist Flint Firemaker LaFosse offered this analysis. Romero's dream journal entries were very similar to Jasmina Halsey's visions after the Starship One incident 3 years ago. Was this lowly grease monkey
Frameshift drive charging.
touch with the same caretakers of our galaxy that Halsey claims spoke to her? Sure, it could be coincidence. Maybe even a shared psychological disorder. But it seems possible that Halsey and Romero were telepathically contacted by the same incorporeal intelligence. You can see why they might want to talk to a federal president. But a starport technician? What's so special about Romero? If he's telling the truth, then who knows how many more ordinary people have heard these summons from borderless voices over the years. Mahone demands end to Kincaid's presidency. Prime Minister Redmond Mahone has called on President Gibson Kincaid to step down pending an official inquiry.
System scan complete. Telescoping.
Addressing the Alliance Assembly, Mahone said, President Kincaid's decision to assume direct command of the Zounds fleet, coupled with allegations of illegal campaign funding, justify the suspension of his presidential term. Kincaid is now being protected by Admiral Yamamoto's ships as well as emissaries from the office of the Alliance President. This autocratic behavior must cease, and Kincaid must cooperate with our investigation or face impeachment. President Kincaid issued a response from his private residence in Zounds. These false accusations are further proof that the Alliance needs a single, strong leader. Unless the Assembly has irrefutable proof of illegality, the Constitution states they cannot force me out of office. Corporations clash in Guardian space. A successful appeal by Zende Partners for Guardian commodities has led to the appointment of a technology broker at the prospect, where Guardian modules are now available. The initiative has seen a marked increase in violence in the Sinuafi D1196 system, however, recently established as a hub of Guardian technological research. Freya Tain, CEO of Zende Partners, made this announcement. Shortly after our company deployed a megaship transport service connecting Zende and Guardian space, our convoys came under attack. We have evidence to suggest that Segnan Exchange is responsible for this flagrant attempt to undermine our efforts. I call upon the galactic community to assist Zende Partners in removing this threat to our operation. Our plans to begin production of an advanced multi-cannon can proceed once Segnan Exchange's disruptions have been dealt with. Cedric Stone, CEO of Segnan Exchange, submitted this statement in response to the accusations. Zende Partners apparently intends to control the trade of Guardian commodities in Sinuafi D1196, which is perhaps why there is violent resistance to their operation. My company would only ever respond to threats with an appropriate level of self-defense. In order to re-establish peace and protect our research into new Guardian human technology, we ask independent pilots to support Segnon exchange vessels in the system. Securing a permanent presence will allow my company to complete work on an advanced Dumbfire launcher on schedule. Our newly established outpost, Indigo Dock, will serve as our base of operations in these efforts. The two factions have set out campaigns in Sinuofi NH, D1196, to take place between the 23rd and 29th of May 3305. Week in Review. Here are this week's main stories. President Gibson Kincaid has been named as Commander-in-Chief of the Alliance Defense Force in the Zounce system. The announcement by Admiral Frederick Yamamoto, known to be a personal friend of Kincaid, was poorly received by the Council of Admirals, who demanded that the decree be rescinded. Zende Partners has called for increased deliveries of Guardian commodities in Sinuofi NH, D1196. CEO Freya Tain revealed that the next step of their Guardian research initiative is the appointment of a technology broker. The galactic community has been invited to bring commodities from Guardian ruins to the prospect. In related news, Segnon Exchange has announced plans to install their own outpost in Sinuofi NH, D1196. In a statement, the company revealed they seek to take advantage of the increased Guardian commodity trade in the system. And finally, a dream journal maintained by Gan Romero has been discovered by investigators. Romero, the technician responsible for stealing a docked craft from the Vega system, recorded a number
Fuel scooping complete.
of entries prior to the theft, suggesting that vivid dream delusions may have played a role. And those are the main stories this week. Kincaid granted command of Zounce fleet. President Gibson Kincaid has been named Commander-in-Chief of the Alliance Defense Force fleet in the Zounce system. Journalist Vanya Driscoll reported on the development for the Alliance Tribune. Admiral Frederick Yamamoto has announced that the Zounce fleet now takes orders directly from the President, in direct breach of the existing ADF command structure. The move is widely perceived to be a deliberate show of strength from President Kincaid, who is currently under investigation for illegal campaign funding. Admiral Yamamoto is known to be a personal friend to Kincaid, from the latter's time as Governor of Zounce. The Council of Admirals has demanded that Yamamoto rescinds this decree. Admiral Rachel Ziegler condemned the decision as political grandstanding that borders on treason. While President Kincaid has accepted the authority, he has yet to issue any orders to the ADF fleet stationed in Zounce. Ship thief's personal log discovered. A journal maintained by Gan Romero, the technician responsible for stealing a docked vessel from a starport hangar, has been discovered. Security Chief Misaki Sanders gave this statement from Fort Dixon. We have thoroughly investigated Romero's background to establish a motive for the theft and how it was accomplished. Our only lead is a series of encrypted voice logs that he deleted shortly before the hijack. Our analysts have recovered a few fragments of these recordings, which appear to have been part of a dream journal. In them, Romero makes repeated mention of seeing an area of space, not black but radiant, glowing like heaven, and being called by voices that didn't come from anything with a body. Medical experts have proposed that Romero's recordings, along with his recent distracted behavior, may be symptoms of an undiagnosed dissociative disorder. If true, Romero was likely acting upon dream delusions when he stole the ship. At present, our investigation has not yielded anything more substantial.
Cannot comply.
Zende Partners requests Guardian commodities. Zende Partners has called for increased deliveries of Guardian commodities in Sinuofi NH, D1196, the newly established hub for Guardian human technological research. CEO Freya Tain made the following announcement. My company has established a scientific research outpost in Guardian space named the Prospect, which also serves as the termination point for our megaship transport service from the Zende system. The next step is to procure a license that will allow a technology broker to trade from the Prospect. In preparation for this, we invite the galactic community to collect Guardian commodities from nearby ancient ruins and bring them to the outpost. This will allow us to provide a stock of existing Guardian human technology, while also stimulating further studies into this extinct civilization. Deliveries should be made to the Prospect in the Sinuofi NH, D1196 system. The appeal begins on the 16th of May 3305 and will run for 1 week. If the maximum requested total is achieved earlier than planned, Zende Partners will end the campaign immediately. Segnan Exchange announces outpost. Segnan Exchange has revealed plans to build an outpost in the Sinuafi NH D1196 system. CEO Cedric Stone gave the following statement. As Zende Partners has graciously provided a transport service to Guardian Space, it makes sense for my company to support the increased pilot activity in that area. Segnan Exchange can offer a variety of services to those traveling to the area. Segnan Exchange thrives at the forefront of innovation. To flow through Sinuafi NH D1196 offers fantastic opportunities in the field of advanced Guardian human technology. The announcement, coming so the prospect in the same system, has received a mixed response from business analysts. Some view the move as likely to trigger direct conflict between the two corporations, while others believe the presence of both companies can only benefit the research initiative. Week in Review. Here are this week's main stories. A megaship service offering transport to Guardian Space has been established by Zende Partners. The service will ferry pilots and ships between Zende and Sinua.
Frameshift drive charging. Complete. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete.
Individuals. Jasmina Halsey.
I know what they're saying. They're picking my story to pieces. Some of the criticism is rational. The lack of corroborative evidence, for example. I don't mind that. I'm telling the truth, after all. An irrational approach can't hurt the truth. But when they say what I experienced is an archetypal conversion story, and that makes it suspect, what I saw reminds people of historical accounts. Doesn't that say something about those experiences?
Jasmina Halsey, 3302. Jasmina Halsey, a former politician, served as president of the Federation from 3300 to 3301. She now works as a peace activist and close advisor to Alliance Prime Minister Edmund Mahon. Halsey claims the profound transformation of her views is the result of a visionary experience in which she communicated with benign non-human life forms, an episode that allegedly occurred in 3301, following the destruction of her vessel, Starship One. Prior to the disappearance of Starship One, Halsey's presidency was unpopular among federal citizens. Taxes had been raised too many times, and her military interventions were seen as heavy-handed. A campaign to ban the narcotic onion head went awry when the crops were firebombed, resulting in collateral damage. During the Lu Rebellion, Halsey gave the order to fire on a civilian convoy, in the belief that a rebel leader was on one of the vessels. Many senior commanders in the Federal Navy lost faith in Halsey and transferred their loyalty to then Shadow President Zachary Hudson. Hudson called for a vote of no confidence in Halsey's government shortly after Starship One went missing and achieved an overwhelming victory. Though Halsey was later found alive, drifting in an escape pod, suggestions that she might be reinstated as president gained little support. Perhaps surprisingly, Halsey's account of her experiences has received a large degree of acceptance among the galactic community. But even those who accept her description of an encounter with non-human entities suspect there is more to the story than has been made public. Skeptics hold that the event presents too many unanswered questions.
Surface scanned by 50%.
such as precisely what happened to Starship One, as well as offering Halsey a suspiciously convenient way out
Surface scan complete.
of her failing presidential career. The most scathing of Halsey's critics condemn her as a traitor and defector who was conspiring with Edmund Mahon even before she left the Federation, and who staged the Starship One catastrophe as a convoluted means to the Alliance, taking vital federal intelligence. Halsey originally addressed by emphasizing how equal they were with her behavior, citing her efforts to establish refugee centers for victims of conflict and her public condemnation of the federal imperial Cold War. But more recently, she has simply laughed them off.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping complete. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Disengaged. System scan complete. System scan complete. Fuel scooping complete. Warning. Temperature critical. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. System scan complete.